guys, so today we are going to be doing a rainbow swirl tumbler, and I'm gonna glitter it with the epoxy method. So I got my epoxy right here. I'm mixing it together. I do heat my part A, the resin side of the epoxy, and how I do that, I just put some water in this little cup and put it in the microwave. There are other ways to heat it, but that is what works for me. So when doing the epoxy method, you do not need very much at all. So you want to spread it as thin as you can. And one way that was explained to me is think of it as your most favorite face cream or lotion or whatever, and you're almost out, you don't have the money to buy more, or it's been discontinued and you're trying to make it last as long as possible. That's how thin you want to spread this. Because the thicker that it is, that soaks the glitter in instead of the glitter just attaching to it. So then you'll end up needing more glitter on top of it. So I mixed maybe 5 milliliters, if that. I didn't really measure. I have my epoxy with pumps, so I did 1 pump of each. And make sure you get the bottom. On that part, so I'm just gonna spread it out. Straw in the sink and the bottle in the trash, and then stay in the living room, please. Go back to the living room, Lily. Okay, so I think that I got a pretty good coat on this. So see, I have a ton of epoxy left. You don't need much at all. Just get this on my turner so I can then smooth out the epoxy that I'm touching. Make sure that I could have put this on my turner and done it this way, but I like holding it in my hand. I feel like I get a better coverage that way. I don't normally glitter on my turner, but because of the swirl, I want to do that today. Want something to catch the glitter. sure I catch all of it. And then I can easily switch it out between colors. So we're going to start with our pink. It is Bombshell from Pink Craft Panda. All of our glitters today are from Pink Craft Panda, and I will link them in the description below. So I want to make sure I get that full coverage. And I am going to go back over all of these colors. So our next color is going to be Orange Blast, and we're just going to start just a little bit away. That one didn't want to, that was weird. So now we're going to wait for it to come back around. To switch out my papers. The whole reason I used them. But that's okay. We'll just put this glitter in the dump cup. And now we will start with new paper. Gonna move this over to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and dump it back in my shaker. That way it no more gets mixed up. So next we're going to use Lemon Flash. And I decided I'm going to just take the tops off because I feel like I get a better coverage that way. Back over the pink real quick before I move on to the next color. And I'll fill in the little spaces between, I'll fill in the little spaces between each color at the end. So the next color we are going to use is called Limewire. again, all of these are from Pink Craft Panda. So this one is Isla, I think is how it's pronounced. Last but not least, our purple is Enchanted.
Mom, this is this like one of these in my cup.
Okay, go to the living room, please. Okay guys, sorry about that. We had a small technical malfunction, but now we're just going in and filling in the empty spaces between the colors. So now what we're gonna do is carefully take this off our turner so that we can do the bottom. How I'm going to do the bottom, just going to find the color that it's next to,
Oh, I said that one.
and oh, let me move you guys up a little bit. There we go. And then we'll dump it. And you don't have to dump it with each color. Looks like we might could go out a little bit further with them. Because I'm just going to put this part in my dump cup. It's just easier that way than to try and put that little bit back in the bottle. Oh, that was open. And I'm trying carefully not to touch the top part. So we have our swirl continue to the bottom, and I did touch the top part, so I'm gonna put this carefully back on my turner and fix those little spots that I messed up. Sorry about that. Check out the blue. And it's gonna go the other way now. To fix the orange. Touch up the yellow. I just noticed some down here that needs to be fixed a little. So you see here a little bit of pink overlapped quite a bit with the purple. So what I'll probably do is after this dries, I'll take some spray adhesive and spray on it so that we can get the full purple line. I missed the green, so we'll wait for it to come back around. And I'm just checking out the cup, making sure that it doesn't need any more little touch-ups, which it does right here. And patting it just makes it get into those spots that needs it. Green right here, so let's go ahead and touch it up. And just double check that it's good all the way down. A little bit of green and yellow right there. Guys, so that looks pretty good, and we'll let this dry for about 24 hours and then we'll come back to it. Hey guys, so we are back to finish this cup. I've already sprayed it with the spray adhesive. This is the kind I use just to make things go a little bit faster. So we started with the pink last time. I'm going to start with the purple so I can make sure I get these areas on this that the pink went over into the purple. Luna. Sorry about that. My dog wants into the other room. You're okay, princess. Bless you. Oh, and I did brush off the excess glitter from this with this makeup brush before I sprayed it with the spray adhesive. So next we're going to do the blue. Oh, I forgot to do this part of the purple. So we're going to start up here with the blue so I don't forget again. So this step is just to brighten it up some and make sure each coat has a good all over color, or each color has a good all over coat of glitter. Normally with the epoxy method you won't need to glitter a second time. And then I'm just tapping it to make sure it adheres good. Okay, so now we have the green. Now we're gonna go to the yellow or lemon flash. And again, I'll put the link for where to get these glitters, along with the names of each of them, in the description below. Oh, and I forgot to say, I know we did it, we glittered on the turner the first time, but because we already basically have our design laid out in glitter, I didn't need to be on the turner this time. That being on the turner was basically to get the swirl effect, to make sure that we got the swirl right. And now we're gonna do the orange. Sorry again about my pup. She wants some attention. And last but not least, we have the pink or Bombshell. Second coat of glitter, and I think it looks pretty good. We'll let this dry and then we'll come back to epoxy. Hey guys, we are back to epoxy this rainbow tumbler, rainbow swirl. Because of the amount of glitter on this, I'm going to do a lot of epoxy. So this is 10 cc's or 10 milliliters, and that's just part A. I haven't mixed my part B in with it. I'm going to do that right now. These silicone stir sticks are pretty awesome. You can get these at Panda as well, the same place that the glitter is from. So let me get this mixed really good, and then we will get it epoxied. I know it says to stir slowly so you don't get the air bubbles. I'm impatient and I don't stir slowly. I just use a heat gun to pop the bubbles later. So that's not completely mixed, but you can take your heat gun pop some of the bubbles that way, and also heat up your epoxy a little bit more, because the hardener or part B does cool it down just a little bit when you start to mix it in after you've heated part A. It's like we're almost ready to apply it to the tumbler, but then also you can use your heat gun after it's been turning about 15-20 minutes and pop the bubbles. So I epoxied this cup before I started, just so that I can show you guys what I mean, because by the time I'm done applying the epoxy to this one, that one will be ready to have the bubbles popped. If you do get the silicone stir sticks, make sure you wipe them off after you're done with them, because if not, it will look like this. I did seal this cup with to try and prevent the glitter transfer. To prevent the colors from moving around. Looks like some of that orange is moving anyways. This would be enough, but I guess because that second coat of glitter needs a little more. I'm going to try and spread what we have before we mix up some more. I'm going to need just a little bit more, so while I finish spreading that out, I'm going to get one more pump in my hot water so that it can start heating up a little bit. didn't get good coverage, so I'm mixing up one more pump, which I think ends up being right at or just over 5 milliliters once it's mixed when you do one pump. With the pumps that I have anyway. Some pumps are larger. So I am pushing it around the bottom of the cup because you want to make sure you get that completely covered as well. Show you what I meant about popping the bubbles on this cup. So you just, it's been spinning about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. So you'll just do this, and if you're looking at it at the right angle, you'll be able to see the bubbles pop in the cup, in the epoxy. That's it. So we'll let this one spin, and it's going to need at least one more coat before decal. So I will probably go ahead and do that coat once it's ready, and then I'll come back on to decal it with you guys. Okay guys, so we are now going to put the name and decal onto this cup. So we're going to do a layered decal for the name, and then a water slide for the image. Oh. I was out of frame. I apologize. Okay, so I'm just letting the water heat up, so I hope that's not too loud. And then trim this up a little bit. So because this is my top part of my decal, I'm going to do it first. And I don't have my scraper tool over here, so I'm just going to use this. That should work. Yes. So now for the layering, you just want to make sure you line it up before you press it down. And then you're going to brandish it again. Just make sure. And now you're ready for the decal. We're going to use this towel just to hold our cup in place. And then I'm doing the name on the lighter side of the cup. I just feel like it'll make it pop better than if it was on the darker side of the cup. It'll stand out more on this side. Make sure you got it down really well. And there we have the name on the cup. And now I'm going to grab my water and we're going to do the water slide on the opposite side. Okay. So we're going to make sure that our cup is wet. So we're going to slide this out super carefully. Okie dokie, so there's a little bubble, so we're going to carefully use this silicone brush to brush it out. We're also going to carefully flip this corner out. Messed up a little bit. I'm just going to use my fingernail and remove that white part. And it'll be okay. That one looks so much better since we swapped them out. So there we have it. This needs to sit for a couple of hours before I seal it. So I will, it's even less centered than it was before, but I don't know. Less centered than it was before, so I'm probably going to end up removing this and doing another one, but you know how to do it now, so I'm going to do another one, let it set, and then I will finish up the cup. It's just epoxy on it, so then I will finish it up and show you the finished cup at the end. Okay guys, so we are back to finish off this tumbler. As you can see, I got the image on there, and I did spray this tumbler with a clear coat because of the layered decal. I wanted to make sure that sometimes the epoxy will expel from it, so I wanted to try and prevent that. The clear coat gives it a little something to grip on. I'm just mixing up my epoxy here, and also because of the layered decal, I did 2.5 pumps. I may not need it all, but I just wanted to be sure. I'm gonna heat this up just a tad. More than it already was. My part A was heated already, but with the hardener in there, it cooled it right down. And I'm going to do that just one more time because I got a lot of bubbles in here. I didn't get them all out, but it did get a few. And now we're just going to epoxy like normal. Get a good first thin coat on it, and then we'll go back and thicken it up. I'm hoping this does not need one more coat, but we will find out in a few hours. If it does need another coat, I won't do that on video, but I'll let you guys know. Every cup is different, so I'm doing a flood coat right now. So I'm hoping that this flood coat will prevent me from needing another coat. It'll all depend on that name and if it gets completely covered or not, or if it expels epoxy anyway. So we won't know until the cup is dry. Gonna flip this off for just a second just to double check that I got that whole decal covered, and hope that it stays covered. Alright guys, hopefully that's the finish of this cup. Like I said, if it does need another coat, I won't do that on camera, but I will come on and show you the finished cup. And in about 15-20 minutes, I will hit this with my heat gun to pop any bubbles that are in it. So here is our finished tumbler, and it came out so good. It did not need another coat after the one that we did on video. And it's ready for the customer. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe.